Yep, it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me at the same time as always. JD Miles. The MGTOWs they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time, which is why they keep us relevant to this day. And I'm back again for tonight's topic of discussion. She she got blocked by the man she was seeing after he found out that she was HIV positive. I shit you not on this. God damn. But that ain't the crazy part. We'll get down to the crazy part later down the pipe. But before I go any further, shout out to JR Wisdom. I'll leave the link to his full video in the description box. Go check it out. Enough of me babbling. Let's get on with this, shall we?
And if I'm being completely honest, I feel like God allowed me to get HIV because he loved me. And only I can understand that. I'm not asking anyone else to understand that.
Okay, hold on. Stop the show. Am I really hearing this correct? She's trying to make it. Why did these 304s always got to put God into this? Especially in this situation. Somehow God blessed her for giving her HIV. Really? And only she can understand that. Well, of course, only she can have that type, can be in her own world of understanding out of everyone else who's questioning this. In fact, there are some are who wondering why she even put God into this. I mean, it's like she believes having HIV is some sort of blessing. Damn, damn, delusional much. But I digress. Let's continue.
I'm just letting you guys know that my life was literally, I don't think that I would be alive today if it wasn't for my diagnosis. So that was a gift from God to me.
I know people who died from HIV. How is that some way, a divine intervention on being alive? I, I ain't gonna wreck my brain on this. Let's continue.
To help me become the woman that I've always been meant to become. Over the weekend, I told someone that I was talking to, but for only a week, so maybe that's where I went wrong. I don't know. That I was HIV positive. This is the first person that I've ever told that I'm actually talking to that, saw something with. Basically, he blocked me. I've been really down about it because it's nothing that I did. And he's just not giving me a shot, and it kind of sucks because
Well, what did you thought was gonna happen? No, seriously. I'm not trying to crack jokes on this. All jokes aside, what did you thought was gonna happen after he found out that you're HIV positive? Did you really think that he was gonna go all in? I'm just saying. Let's continue.
because I've never been in this kind of position. I've never felt this kind of rejection before in my life. But I'm so happy and I'm so proud of myself because I did tell him, and
And that's the and that's and I ain't gonna lie, that's the best thing you should have did was to tell him that you had it. But I wouldn't go that far as to say to be on camera and say, "Oh, I'm proud of having STDs," but now the person I want to be with has completely blocked me because I have it. I mean, who on the face of the earth who has a sexually transmitted disease would be proud of it? What delusional fantasy world does this one came from? But let's continue.
And I wasn't ashamed when I told him. I was like very matter of factly when I told him. And that's like really big for me because I'm finally like embracing and getting confidence in this new journey that I'm on. Our hope is not lost. I know I'm going to be happy with someone. I'm happy now. And I know someone's going to understand me and love me for who I am. The ideal situation would be like, damn, this shit is scary, but if you're telling me that I'm not at risk and that you're healthy, I'm willing to do the research that I need to do to see if we can make this work. This was my first experience telling someone. It sucks.
So this
But you also got to keep in mind as well. Yeah, there are some that will take that risk, but the vast majority is not going to take that chance. Believe me, I know a lot of people who had HIV, who had AIDS. I mean, I'm talking about the nasty type of diseases here. The ones that are incurable and life-threatening here. Not the vast majority is not going to take chances here. I, I gotta make that known. But let's continue.
This young lady, I believe her name is Bianca, and this was a guy she's only been talking to for a week, and she revealed to him that quickly, so I guess things were moving along pretty quickly, where maybe he was trying to make something shake. You guys went on a first date, and he already set up the second date, and you figured you'd go ahead and do that. But you got to understand, baby, not everybody's going to be down for that. Not everybody's going to be cool with that. But there are some dudes who don't care and will definitely, I think she can definitely find someone she's attractive for sure. And now that they have all of these medications in place, which makes you non-detectable, unable to infect someone else, it's more people that's willing to get in a relationship with you.
I'm sorry, but I gotta stop JR Wisdom on that. And I mean, this is the only thing I disagree with JR Wisdom on. Yes, they got medication. They got medication that can help people with HIV and AIDS. But let's not try to sugarcoat it. Yes, they could, they'll help stop the transmission. However, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as perfect medication. There's no such thing as medication that will stop the spread 100%. And there are many cases where even if a person who has a serious and life-threatening STD who is on these type of medications, that does not guarantee, and I repeat, that does not guarantee that they won't be able to spread the disease and to other people. And yes, there are many cases to where even though they take the medication, they still at risk of spreading it. But I gotta put that out there. I mean, think about it. Think about it. You could be on these medications, but yet you're still at risk. I can't stress that enough, but let's continue.
With that, but some dudes are just like, baby, I can't do it. For some people, it's like a death sentence. They're not trying to deal with that. But the way things are going now, like I said, I covered a video in the past.
That's because these fellas understand for a fact that even with these safety precautions in place, there is still no guarantee that even with the medications and all that, even with the medications and all that, that doesn't guarantee that she won't spread it to other people. As I stated before, nothing is 100% perfect, and these dudes understand that completely. Even the ladies, they understand that completely too. But let's continue.
Where Buddy was he was a gay dude. He was just like, he has the right to have unprotected such and such. And nobody needs to tell him any different. But I think she said she contracted, and she's going to get into, I'll play some of her story here, where she talks about she contracted it at the age of 27. I don't know how old she is now, but we'll get into that. But a week, this is the first person that you really dated seriously, or you really felt like they were worth your time to actually tell them that you had it. You can't be surprised, and you can't really be upset about it. It's almost expected because you have to look at it from their perspective too. Let's get into these other videos, guys. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Bianca, and I'm HIV positive. So I'm going to try to answer your 2 questions as quickly as possible. Starting off, am I communicating this off the cuff? No. The thing with disclosure is that it is a personal choice. I do not have to share with you if I don't want to. So when it comes to HIV disclosure, you want to ask yourself 4 questions. Who am I disclosing to? Why am I disclosing? What am I disclosing? Everyone doesn't need to know everything. And
Well, depending on which state you're in, you don't have a choice. And yes, in the majority of the states in the U.S., failure to disclose this information can lead to serious legal problems. Wait a second. Is it illegal to withhold information regarding having an STD from your partner?
the legality of withholding information about having a sexually transmitted disease, STD, from partner varies by jurisdiction and the specific circumstances involved. In many places, there are laws that require to inform their sexual partners if they have a known STD. Failure to do so can lead to significant legal consequences, including criminal charges or civil lawsuits, especially if it results in the transmission of the disease to the partner. Some jurisdictions specifically criminalize the intentional or reckless transmission of certain STDs, particularly those that have severe health implications like HIV/AIDS. Beyond legal obligations, there are ethical and moral considerations as well. Disclosing an STD status is important for the health and safety of both partners. Open communication helps in making informed decisions, taking preventive measures, and seeking appropriate medical treatment. If you need advice about specific legal obligations or rights, it's best to consult with a legal professional who is knowledgeable about the laws in your specific area.
Come on. So that right there has been debunked. And yes, especially in states where the sexually transmitted diseases are extremely high, you have to tell your partner that you have it. If not, you're in legal trouble. Or worse, but that ain't the worst part. The worst part is you don't tell him, but then he or she contracted the disease. They find out it came from you. You're looking at a possible deletion. So in this situation, by withholding crucial details of your health, you're putting other people at risk. And she's putting her own freedom in jeopardy, believing that she don't have to tell nobody. And yes, many people who has STDs who pass it to other people, they faced serious legal consequences in the process because they didn't want to tell them. Need I say more? Let's continue.
Where am I disclosing? If I'm going to tell someone that I'm HIV positive, I have to feel like I can trust that you're going to hold space for what I'm saying. And on top of that, I need to make sure that I'm going to be safe. The truth of the matter is that your health is not my responsibility, and the way that you perceive me is not my responsibility either.
And this is why people like her always find themselves in a fucked up situation. This is why when I was growing up, and I'm just stating facts here. No need to get personal. Growing up, if a person contracted an STD and from the person and they failed to tell them and they end up getting it, they get deleted. They get murdered because because in their partners minds they should have told them before they did anything, but because they didn't tell them, guess what happened to them? 6 feet deep. Oh the AIDS and the HIV didn't have was not going to take them out. They got taken out sooner. They got taken out before the disease will. And I'm just stating facts. No threats here. Let's continue.
If that bothers you so much, you should not be having casual sex nor engaging in hookup culture. Because the likelihood of someone disclosing while engaging in casual sex is very low. Lastly, all of my encounters are unprotected.
Well, there you.
Well, she don't have to worry about that because now everybody knows she has it. It just all comes down to whether or not Simps and White Knights are still willing to do that shit. But as I said before, the only positive I got out of this is the fact that she is informing people. She's informing people that she has it. But she was right about another thing too. Not everybody who has it is gonna tell you point blank. But let's continue.
There you have it, and that is responsible of her to ensure that they are wearing the proper protection to protect both parties. And what she said is absolutely true. Her health is not your responsibility unless you guys are in a committed relationship and you're monogamous and there's an understanding that, hey, me and you are not protected and you go out and step out with somebody else. So for sure. But there you have it from what Bianca's talking about. But I think she answers some more questions. Because, people wonder a lot of times, how was it contracted by a down low man? Did she get it that way?
I mean, isn't it obvious, J.R. Wisdom? Of course, they're going to ask them. Of course, that when people have an STD, that is the most obvious question they're going to ask. How did she get it? Was it unprotected sex with multiple people? Blood transfusion? A blood transfusion, which is understandable. Was she sharing a needle with someone else? I'm just making guesses here. But let's hear it from her, shall we?
And she answers that question there. Let's get into it.
Hello, my name is Bianca and I'm HIV positive. So while the purpose of this person's question was to degrade me, I feel compelled to be honest about it. The truth is that yes, I was being promiscuous and I contracted HIV at 27. So yes, it was unprotected intercourse. At that time,
Guess the one who was degrading was right the entire time. She contracted HIV because she couldn't keep her legs closed, wanted to let the whole hood smash, and look who's burning. Ice Cube. Let's continue.
I was extremely broken, extremely traumatized. I felt unworthy. I didn't love myself. I felt unlovable. And I thought that if someone wanted to sleep with me, especially unprotected, that meant that they loved me, that I was worthy. Obviously, I know that that's not true now.
So case in point, she ended up contracting it. She ended up contracting it because she was a hurt individual. Now it's to a point to where she's a hurt individual, and as they say, hurt people hurt people. What's more, you also sense that her contracting HIV was a permanent decision for her based off of temporary feelings. This is why you move off strategy, not off emotions. And no, I'm not saying this to put her down, because I know a lot of people who has HIV, and AIDS. I'm just saying this because of what I'm hearing right now. More importantly, as y'all heard earlier, she don't care if she's putting other people's health in jeopardy. As long as she gets what she wants. Which that don't sit right with me at all. But I digress. Let's continue.
But at the time, I held on to that as if it was truth, not knowing that my worth is found in Jesus Christ alone. So whether you're promiscuous or not, saving your bodies for your husband alone is the best option. This is not to say that spouses don't transmit, however, the risk is much lower. I am not ashamed of my past nor of my diagnosis, because Jesus has set me free.
Y'all heard her. Jesus has set her free. She's fine.
Yeah, Jesus has set her free. Set her free a bit too late. And it's funny how people, and as a Christian, I always make this statement. I always find it funny that people find God, find Jesus after the damage is done. And I'm not passing judgment here. I'm just saying. But then again, what did my grandma used to say? Some people will learn before the mistake happened. Others learn after the damage is done. And that's a fact. But that's all I'm gonna show on this. Yeah, I want to watch JR Wisdom's full video in its entirety. I'll leave the link in the description box. Go check him out. Tell him JD Miles sent you. And that's all for tonight. I said what I had to say. I'm done, and I'm out this bitch. Later.